Hey friends, you might remember the previous video where we got my test bench finally set up. We're good to go, but you can see we're missing some space here, and that's where we got this. Monitor time. This is the Pixio PX278 1440p 144 Hz monitor. Let's go ahead and get this baby set up. Ooh, look at that. That's sleek. So packaging is actually really simple and really nice as far as just ease of access. This is one of the smoothest monitor unboxings I've ever done. Okay, looks like I need screws to get on in there, which I guess, there's the screws. Wow, this is remarkably light too. So there, 2 minutes, completely set up, start to finish. Now it's time to actually like plug it in and all of that. Just a couple things about the monitor before I put it away. Number one, it doesn't have any cable routing back here, so that's not gonna happen. Number two, you got power in, USB, 2 HDMI ports. One's a 1.4, one's a 2.0. You got the display port right here, and then a headphone jack. Not a ton on the back, but just enough to get you through, and then you got the little jibble jabble menu selection. All right, let's turn you on. Oh yeah, now let's turn you on. And let's get this working. So Pixio claims that this is a 3-side bezel-less display, so I'm thinking that it's the top and the sides, whereas the bottom is not. And then you saw 1440p 60 Hz up there, but we'll get it at 144 Hz in just a second. So one of the key things you see here with the stand, you have the tilt, but you have nothing else. No pivot, no height adjust, no swivel, all that's gone. So it's just tilt that you have with the stand. Let's check out the menu options over here while we get a game loaded up. Press that in, what do we have? You see it gives you plenty of options. 1440p gives you the refresh rate, whether or not FreeSync is active, that's great. You got the colors that you can change right there. Gaming setup, should turn FreeSync on, that'd be great. Oh, why'd you clear me out of the menu once you turn that on? That's not great, that's not what I wanted. Oh, enter is to the right. Oh, not pressing it in. Got it. No game assist, HDR, we should turn that on. I'll go into the specs in just a second. What else do we need? Firmware update, that's not really what we're going for. Display, let's go ahead and make sure that we're at 144 Hz. Just in case you have this issue where your display is set to 60 Hz, it's actually really easy to fix. So you go over to the display settings, go over to advanced display settings, come over here, display adapter properties. That'll pop this up. You go over here to monitor, you take that, 144 Hz, apply, keep changes. There we go. Now it's smooth and buttery as all get out. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the specs while I play this game real quickly. Number one, it's a VA panel, which means the viewing angles aren't going to be as good as an IPS. However, they're 160 degrees and 170 degrees respectively, which is more than fine, especially when you're playing a game straight on like this. Number two, this is a 95% DCI-P3 color space monitor, which means that you do get a lot of the coverage that you would need for color sensitive details. As I die. Number three, you do get a 1 millisecond gray to gray response time when you put it on overdrive, which is great. Number four, as I mentioned, it's 1440p, it's 144 Hz refresh rate and a 27-inch display with not as many bezels as you can see here, which is one of the selling features that Pixio has on this PX278. It also includes FreeSync, which means that you don't have tearing or anything like the sort. But the big selling point of this is that it's only at the $300 price tag over on Newegg, which is really great considering the specs of 1440p, 144 Hz, 1 millisecond response time with FreeSync. That's all really good spec line. The only cheaper monitor that I know of is the AOC monitor, which comes in at the $260 to $270 price region. However, the difference between these two is this one supports HDR because it has 400 nits peak brightness, which isn't the best HDR that you're going to find on the planet, but when you compare it to the AOC monitor only has 250 nits brightness. So this is considerably brighter and will allow you to have a slightly better HDR experience. It also has a Vase Mount compatibility where you take it off the stand here at the back, and then bam, you can actually Vase mount it, as you can see there. So it has all of the features that you would potentially want coming in at that budget price point. As far as I'm aware, this is a Newegg exclusive, so you can only pick it up there, but at the $300 price point, you're getting a lot of monitor for that money. And from what I'm viewing, the colors look great, the refresh rate is on point. I'm not seeing any ghosting or smearing that would be obvious to me at this point. I don't play games professionally, but I can say that this PX278 is hitting all of the marks that I would need for a test bench situation. 1440p, 144 hertz is kind of the sweet spot for high-end cards, for a high-end monitor, but coming in at a more reasonable price point of only 300 bucks. So the only downfall that I could see of this monitor where it's kind of missing out for the price point that it's out is obviously the stand. The stand is actually surprisingly light and super functional. It's not wobbling anywhere. It's actually really sturdy here. You've got the tilt effect that works really well, but again, you have no other range of motion, no pivot, no tilt, none of that, which could be a downfall, but the fact that you can put it on a Vase mount makes it a lot more versatile. So honestly, this monitor has all of the bare necessities that I would potentially want in a gaming monitor, especially for my test bench scenario that I have going on right here. Big thanks to Pixio for sending this monitor over. I have a big thumbs up for this with the amount of time that I've been using it. It checks all the boxes without providing any of the frills that you would find from a more expensive monitor, but for my purposes, that's 100% okay. Minimalistic, delivers on everything that it's supposed to at a price point that's impossible to argue with. So the Pixio PX278 gets a big thumbs up from me. I'll leave a link to it down below in the video description where you can pick it up over on Newegg, as well as some alternatives in case you're looking at those over on Amazon. But with that being said, my test bench area is now complete. We've got the test bench itself over there with the 9900K and whatever GPU I need to put in it. We got the 1440p 144 hertz monitor, and it's right next to everything else that I'm currently working on my standing desk, courtesy of Autonomous. I so freaking love this thing. L-shaped standing desk. So let me know what you think of the PX278 down below in the comments. I will keep you updated on everything else that I try out. I actually have another monitor that I'm going to be replacing this Dell with. So stay tuned for that as we get more set up here at the UFD station, and I'll be ready to go. Let me know if there's anything you think I'm missing in my setup that I should definitely have. Keen to hear from you. Leave comments down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this brand new video. Get subscribed to stay up to date on all of our tech related content. I'm Brett. Bye.